On to communications, Superintendent Clark.
Thank you, President Doobie. First, I wanted to report on the 2% tribal grant procedure. We changed it up a little bit this time and had a committee. We implemented the new process. The selection committee included 3 teachers, 1 steelworker member, 1 principal, a board member, the technology director, and myself. There were 22 proposals submitted. 11 of them were approved. $106,720 will be submitted, and we normally get around 70 to 80,000 on that. I mean, it could be a little less, could be more, but that's normally where we're at. I'm currently looking at other districts and talking to them to see how they submit, because I want. It's not 100% everybody in favor of this process. You know, when you've done something for so long. So I did want to check with others. I called Mount Pleasant today, Chippewa Hills, and I'm waiting for some information that I'll get back to you with. And I know Standish's is similar, where the superintendent and assistant superintendent, they pick what they want. So this is a kind of step between what we do and what Standish does. So I'm gonna get some more information and bring it back just to see, but I like the process. There are some tweaks that Mr. Andreech and I already had talked about, adding a few things to it. So, and now those teachers that were approved by our committee submit to the tribal website, and then we'll see what gets approved from there.
Who can submit right now? Who can submit to us? Staff only, or is it students?
No, it's
student
staff.
Groups, just staff.
Yeah, staff.
That's to be more on my staff.
Yep. Yes. Anything else? Any other questions? All right. Last week was my superintendent's conference called MASA. Here are some high points that I wanted to bring back. School Finance Research Collaborative reported that we will receive info in October on energy saving methods. Every school district will receive that. They went around last year, looked at boilers, looked at all of the different things that could possibly save us some money for energy. There was a very interesting club from East Jordan called the Shoe Club. They had 2 middle school suicides probably 15 years ago, and they wanted to do something, so a teacher stepped up and does an amazing job with this club where they promote support, volunteering, all these great actions for the middle school students, and somehow they tie it in with shoes, and celebrities from all over the world send in shoes. And they have them like in the library, and there's always a story behind the shoe. So it was really cool, a neat thing to see a school from Michigan doing that. I went to a session on risk management. They talked a lot about technology attacks and how we have to discuss them and stay on top of those. I know Jay sends stuff out quite frequently, but they talked about practice the phishing messages. A new way of stealing money is to call the business director and say that we're a vendor X and we changed our routing number. Please send the bill to this, because in public or in our notes, our minutes from here, they can see or they can hear what's going on. And then without checking, business directors have sent money and then it's gone. They said you don't get that money back. So they just recommended and said you have to call. If a vendor ever changes a routing number, you need to make sure and call them and get it from them on the phone. Let's see, injury trends. Combative students claims have nearly doubled. They are 36% of SETSAG claims right now. SETSAG is our insurance, and combative students is student against teacher, kicking, hitting, doing something inappropriate way what they shouldn't have. So not great to see. Van use for transporting students. I also learned a lot about this, that we need to make sure our parents know that their auto insurance covers students in case there's an accident in our school vans. There was a very bad golf accident last year with the boys golf team, and what they had said was there are 3 or 4 students that all need support and financial support, and insurances are different. Some people are getting things, some people are not, and they just said you need to make sure that your parents know that their auto insurance is first. MHSAA did kick in though and are helping those students that were in that golf accident. So that was interesting to hear about. Government immunity, talking about how making sure that we have government immunity, but gross negligence does not cover that. And then they also talk about allegations may not be true, but community members can still make those allegations. So they wanted to make sure that we were up on that gross negligence and all of those things. Legislatively, the big thing with most of the days we're talking about the budget, the state budget, where they made sure we knew that the legislators didn't just miss a deadline on July 1st. They actually broke the law because the law says they have to have that budget done by July 1st, which it still isn't. The House budget, House proposal, $1 billion goes to higher ed, takes away from K-12 schools, so that's a big sticking point. Also wanted to eliminate transportation categorical, which hurts schools like us. Schools like Garber or John Glenn to get the same amount per student, but they have 3 or 4 buses versus our 12 buses. And all that money they can use for supplies and salaries and different things. So there is a categorical right now that does help districts like ours with large transportation budget, and that's on the chopping block. And also talking about the MIPS rate reduction that saved us 5% last year, getting rid of that. Major holdup in that legislative budget is the roads. They said that $3 billion is needed to do what they want with the roads, and they can't fix that without increasing taxes or taking it away from somewhere else in the budget. So that's a big sticking point. The gas tax has been looked at, taking that away, which a large portion of that goes towards education, which you would think it seems, common sense. Gas tax would go towards roads, and the Senate has said we can do that, so it makes more sense, but then we need to backfill the education with that money that they're taking away, and the House says, no, we just might take that money and not backfill it. So these are some pretty big battles that they're knocking heads with, trying to figure out what they're going to do. Also with this, timing is pretty important. Even if they do meet that October 1st deadline and have a budget, it takes time for everybody, the lawyers, to look through things, to go to this person, to that, and everybody has to sign it. They said there is a good chance, if it is completed by October 10th, that we would still get our pay on October 20th, our installment. But if not, if it's after that, then there will be a delay, which could cause problems for some districts. Federal, they talked about federal budget as well a little bit, and some of the problems there. Half of the Department of Ed was eliminated recently this year with the federal government. They have no legal counsel for the federal Department of Education. So that was an issue. And then it was very strange. They talked about the $7 billion in allocated federal title funds this summer that were froze for review, but then they were released recently, and there was no review, like there were no notes, no information. So it was just weird. That's never been done before with why did they freeze federally allocated funds and then just release them. So that was just some stuff that they talked about. Michigan Department of Health Ed Standards. Now we're done with my conference. But I want to let everyone know the Michigan Department of Ed Health Standards are being updated, and the public can read the standards and leave comments at the MDE Health and Safety webpage through October 10th. So if any of our parents are interested in looking at the health standards, they can go on the webpage and see those. And then also just one quick thing, at the last board meeting, we talked about discretionary spending, and with this crazy budget situation, we should probably slow down on the non-discretionary. And I talked with Mr. Yaros about this because he brought that up, and I'm like, okay, so what is non-discretionary? What is discretionary? When certain things maybe we could live without, but it's part of our school and it's part of growing, like conferences. So I think as of right now, and you can think about this and let me know if there are other things that you think would be non-discretionary, but what I came up with were things like new construction, new projects, things that can be held off for a while. If we don't need to start things right now, we wouldn't. But supplies, salaries, trainings, things like that are necessary, we would continue to go forward with. So does that sound right? Is that okay? Any questions? All right, thank you.
Oh, I do.
Okay.
Because I missed the health update this evening. Did you make it to that?
No, we had senior night.
How's that going?
It's going okay.
Students over there?
I did talk to Amanda. She said numbers are increasing now that school has started. We do have students again that do our 21F, our online classes, and are in with Mr. O'Loughlin in his class where those students can get trained to help our central elementary students walk over if needed. So parents wouldn't have to leave work. But they would need training because there are some HIPAA things and can't be saying that I took a student to the doctor for any reason. So, but yeah, Amanda said it's they're gaining some students and it's going okay. Thanks.
Student rep, you can introduce yourself and give us your report.
I'm Sarah Yaros, Counseling Department. On Thursday, September 18th, seniors participated in Financial Aid Jeopardy! Nick Messing from the Department of Student Aid was on hand to familiarize seniors with the different types of student aid in a fun, interactive game. Students gained valuable insight into the world of financial aid. High school and middle school bands. The high school marching Spartans will be traveling to Clare on Tuesday, September 23rd to participate in the 2025 Clare Pioneer Showcase. 3 students will be auditioning for the 2026 All-State Band. Auditions will be held in All Gray on Saturday, October 18th and Sunday, October 19th. Please wish Raven Rodriguez, percussion, Ava Sudolski, saxophone, and Marissa Whipcop, saxophone, a good luck. The fall band concert will take place on Sunday, October 12th at 4 p.m. on the stage. The concert will feature the beginning band, 7th and 8th grade band, and the marching Spartans. The Band Booster Holiday Craft Bazaar will take place on Saturday, October 18th from 9 a.m. until 3 p.m. in the middle school gymnasium and the hallways of the school. The Homecoming Court. Congratulations to the members of the 2025 Homecoming Court. Freshman representatives are Allie Cole and Grace Millette. Sophomore representatives are Caitlin Gentle and Kaylee Rubenstein. Junior representatives are Abby Grigorchik and Ariana Bustamante. The senior representatives are Addison Cooley, Chloe Drous, Madison Grigorchik, Hannah Kane, Lindsay Paschik, and Alyssa Sinicki. Mock trial. Mrs. Newmeyer is excited to announce that Pinconning will be starting up a mock trial team again this year. Cases should be released on October 1st, and we will begin student sign-up and practices after Christmas break. I look forward to keeping this club going and sharing all the knowledge I gathered through my 4 years of being coached by Mr. Doobie.
I was gonna say, that was good that she's starting to back up.
Yes, that's great.
30, he was one of the first teams, and I stopped and Rogers took it, must have did 38 years.
Oh, really?
They did it here.
Hmm.
And it's a really exciting thing.
Halloran ran it.
Yep, and I got it from, it was Halloran, then DeVoe, and then
That's great.
and then Mr. Rogers. Yeah, and Sheldon was one of my kids in that.
Good.
Okay, thank you. John, administrative staff, you hear me? Doctor?
Auditors, Russell, good work, past 2 weeks. Overall, I'm all, I don't think I get that, but, okay, good going forward.
Okay. All right, we'll move on, non-consent agenda, or the consent agenda.
Make a motion to approve the consent agenda. Pay bills, total, $179,581.68.
Support.
All right, got motion support, any discussion?
Gary Yaros,
Yes.
Bonnie Holstein,
Yes.
Leah Rulon,
Yes.
Chris Ravish,
Yes.
Paul Gorchik is yes, Katie Gorchik,
Yes.
and Brad Drew.
Yes. There, on to public comments. Right, just like that. All right, everybody, if you want information back, there's it in the back, otherwise we won't comment, we don't comment, make any decision on it, you have 3 minutes, so.
It's nice to see a lot of people.
Yes.
It's been a while. Going back to school.
Anybody? Okay. Board members, any discussion with you?
On the information meetings we have coming up, I can go tomorrow at 11.
I wasn't gonna bring it up. Yes, we do have the community, scheduled things on the facility improvements. Tomorrow, we will start at the Pinconning Library at 11, and then we will also be at, Garfield Township Hall at 6 o'clock tomorrow night. So you were gonna go to,
I can do that, it's about an hour.
depends, could be a half hour, 45 minutes, it depends on how
I
many
can't
people
do
are
it,
there.
you know.
Okay. Good, okay. Yeah, we have to make sure we don't have more than 3.
You know.
Okay.
No, I can't go to Garfield.
Sounds good.
And the week after.
The week after on 30th, Fraser Hall at 11, and then Mount Forest Hall at 6.
Nine power pop.
Oh, no.
That's a powder puff.
Yeah.
That's,
All right.
Senior year.
No, I wouldn't even ask that. No. And
We'll
just,
probably do 11 again.
okay. And the plan is to talk about the needs of the district, some of the plans that are out there, get thoughts, kind of go back and forth, and, just see what our community is thinking and see what we have now, what we may need in the future, and how we might get that.
Are we gonna be in the homecoming parade again this year?
That we always have that available. I know Jeremy shines up the white truck and we put chairs in the back. So, do you know?
The invites in there, so if, you guys are okay with me saying yes to them, I will say yes, we are doing it, and then you guys can let me know how many chairs, how many seats I need.
If
to
you're
get
available.
going, so.
Let
I'll
us
shoot
know.
you a message on that.
Good.
else, one more motion.
Motion adjourned.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Get back to the last 1 minutes. We're still winning.
Do you want me to put your back in?
Probably Chloe Browse, I would think.
I don't know who's allowed.
I'm not putting it on there, but it doesn't matter. Try to see how many.
This is all we do. This is just all we do. And alternate, right? And cheer. This side, and then four. And then next year, you're dancing.
If you want to, still.
Wednesday. I'll be at the big mountain. I get some pictures, I'll send them to you. Yeah, Brian sends you some once in a while.
At the end of the season.